I've got these all down the street. I wasn't going to film it, but I decided to today. That's Pudding, and he's a lost cat. And he looks, he reminds me of me, strangely enough. You know, I don't know why, but he looks pretty worried, even though he's supposed to be a much loved, much missed cat, which is why they've got this reward poster up kinda, so that he can come home. But actually looks as though he's thinking a bit, doesn't he, almost? That's unusual for a cat. But anyway, see, lost. Yeah, well, we're all a bit lost. I know I'm lost. And, you know, I look like a pudding these days, so perhaps they're making fun of me. Anyway, so, I like ginger cats. I like ginger tabby cats, always have. And don't tell my big boy cat that though, because you know, cats become, when they're domesticated, they become very a bit territorial, shall we say, and possessive, a bit like the technical matrix beings that are all around. They all, you know, are like that. They're possessive and territorial. They think this earth matrix is all theirs, and you have nothing. I've left that one for me. I think it's still bleeding, yes. In fact, it hasn't stopped bleeding for quite a long time now, really. Maybe a year and a half, whatever, but that's the way it goes. Just coming up here, and the usual, I guess that's me there, and that's not so great. So what was I going to say about me? I've lost track. You see, they take your thoughts. They take your concentration to such an extent that you can't, I had something to say and now I can't even say it. Here we have the usual pram pushers coming up, which is very appropriate because I was just going to make that point. That I am, I'm trying to get in the light here, but there is no the sun, but it's all reflecting funny. It's all reflecting funny. But, am I coming out or not? Perhaps I am, unfortunately. But you see, I actually look. See, there's another pram pusher there. See how there's all these pram pushers around? Because I was going to make the point that I see how I look as though I am, excuse the fact that everything is no longer defying gravity. But that is because of technology to some extent, plus that you can become, because you're in the matrix and targeted so much, you no longer seem to care too much about the physical because you can't keep it up almost. You can't even you don't want to be in this reality. You can't live in it. So it's not like you're going to take pride in your appearance or anything. Not that I was ever too preoccupied that way anyway, because I've always been in a matrix. It's just that it wasn't as openly trapping, openly suppressing, openly bringing you down at physical and mental levels, and psychologically disturbing you too. So, but that's what that is. I can't quite show that, but you see how that is like. See, I look as though, even though I'm a little bit on the pudding side, like the cat, I don't think that's going to come out because I need a bit more sun. Maybe that'll turn. Oh, this is really awful, but you know, my stomach, due to technology being sent all around, and particularly if it's directed at you over a reasonable period of time, can make you know the body perhaps a little bit more you know, not normal. And I think I noticed this about a year before the matrix openly came down on me. About a year. Because I remember, because I was slimmer then anyway, like I wasn't like as heavy. So I don't think, see, can't really show it, but see how my stomach, actually, if you see it, like, it actually sticks out like as though I'm in the family way. Now, this happened to me about a year. That's like 6 years ago now, because, you know, it's up to 5 at the end of the year when the matrix openly came down on me. Now, about 6 years ago, when I was slimmer, because I only got a fair bit more heavy over the last 2 or 3 years, because gradually, because I just don't care, you know, and but also you don't get around as much. So mainly it's not even about diet, it's just that I used to get round more, so you just naturally, I suppose, burn off a few more things, whereas if you stay, even though I'm walking now, I'm slow and not really going to as many places as what I would normally do or would like to. So, you know, the Orange Brigade aren't here in full force today. They've even got the gate closed, which is funny, so they're keeping quiet here. Normally they're in here as I come past, making a bit of a racket and doing some sort of work, but even the gate's closed, so that's interesting. But what I was going to say, see, everything's under surveillance these days. Everything is under I'm under 24-hour surveillance all the time. And so are all people, real people, you know. In fact, this is part of it, these innocent people that walk past. You know, they are all a patrol force of this technical matrix, even though they look perfectly normal and natural. They are not. They're not normal, and they're not natural, and they're not random, and they're not just getting about their own business. It's a secret patrol force, only secret to me and my kind. It's not secret to them, and it's not secret to the vast majority, because they're all part of it. There's probably not as many numbers of everyone as what we think. I now realise this, and this has been told to me too, but I now see it in my own reality. Because don't forget that I have a lot of people around me here in Leichhardt, but that's because they converge around real humans. So it doesn't mean that there's more people all over the entire earth, shall we say, or in the entire earth. You know, even though that is largely, you know, not really real, shall we say, as nothing is really real. Most of the people are not real in the way that you would think. Comes one up here, so I better move along. I've actually decided to stop here because I want to be a bit private, but there is none. You know, because otherwise I can't concentrate on what I'm actually, you know, saying. I was going to go on about the you know, the stomach protruding to where it looks as though you are pregnant, shall we say. Now this, you know, it was about 6 years ago, that was like a year before the Matrix openly showed that it was patrolling and suppressing me at a physical level. There was probably frequencies, negative frequencies around me, negative energies and frequencies even in the house at that time, but they were not to where you could physically feel them, whereas now I can physically feel them. That's because they've upped the intensity, and they don't care that you know, because they even would like it if you tell people, because then you'll be classed as out of touch with reality, because there's no way that we live in a reality where human beings are being surrounded and limited at every way they can, physically, emotionally and mentally, by this tracking surveillance of these technical negative energy beings that their whole purpose is to limit you physically and to extract as much anger or negative energy, if you want to put it that way, out of you. Some people call these things energy vampires because that is their existence, because their survival depends on extracting anger and negative emotions out of a human being. It appears to keep them going, and it makes them feel better. That's at a psychological level, you know, because they're negative, possessed beings. That is part of the picture. There's probably more to it than that, but I'm not intellectual enough or intelligent enough to fully understand it or go into it in a video. But the protruding stomach could also be that there's many ways for me to look at it. Like I could say that I think it is caused, you know, by negative frequencies largely. But from a spiritual standpoint, it could also be a phantom pregnancy. In other words, I think some people might have heard of phantom pregnancies. That means where you can't conceive and can't reproduce, but you want to, so you have a mental pregnancy, a psychological pregnancy. In other words, you invent it, and it can actually even bloat your stomach to where it looks as though you are. And certainly the loss of my kind and my own unsuccessful, parent role in this Earth Matrix has probably, led me to think that it is distressing that there is no reproduction of our kind, or successful reproduction, or successful rearing even of our kind. So I better move on because I don't know why I'm making these videos. I don't even know what I'm saying, and I think I don't feel that I'm putting it right. I don't feel comfortable. And also it's more than what I want to say about things, because it's too personal. And yet my personal stuff is part of the matrix, and it's also part of the reasons why things are not successful, and why this world is now a lot more negative and being taken over completely, even at a mental level, because obviously it's been physically and technologically taken over, and that is real. But mentally, people are possessed in a negative way, Now, just coming down the back way here because it's a bit quiet. In fact, it's quite quiet here. But we do have, as you can see, none of those cars. This, like I've said before, this car park here used to always be totally empty, because there's nothing really, any reason for people to be parked here, because there's nothing around here. Even I'm just walking through, and as you can see, it is controlled, by the orange brigades around, just at a visual level. At least they're not actually around here doing work, making a lot of noise today. I'm not sure why not. Oh, Saturday, I don't think they're... See, don't forget, that's what I was getting at. The Matrix has to have plausible rules that it makes even for itself. So Saturday is not normally a day that they would be working, probably. Although I have seen them, but normally it would be Monday to Friday. Oh, I don't think I can actually go on. I actually feel like falling over, to be honest. Oh, it's hot now too, the sun's out. See how all these people are patrolling around, those two going up there, that fella in front, one over there getting into the car. It doesn't look like much, and these people getting out of that car that just pulled in straight in front. See, it looks all natural and normal, but they're not. They're always around. They are negative, artificial, patrolling beings, designed to bring my emotion down so that I cannot even just go down and get coffee. See how the car's pulling out as soon as I'm here? So I'm only here for a bit, but I'll be moving on. Oh, there's someone here too, come to think of it. I didn't even see that. See, basically there's around you, but it's so subtle. See, look how subtle and innocent he looks. See? Just so subtle. Another one. Here. And I've got to watch where I'm walking, because I nearly went over here the other day, especially filming, because I've got a mask on. This fella's pretending to video or film the graffiti like I did. See, just watch this. Look how they have to pretend to be real. And I know they're not, because I can even sense it now. They fool me sometimes. That's only because I want to be fooled. Because if someone is, because as a kind of more, some of us that are left are particularly swayed if someone is pleasant to us, because we have that kind of need probably, and more so now when everything is negative around. You know, so if someone, you know, you play with them and they play back and they're pleasant and engaging, you will want to believe that they're a real person like yourself, you know, as opposed to acting, which is what they really are. They're acting, they're mimicking, copying, and they've been doing it for so long that it comes natural to them. But they're still not as good as a real human being, which is why they overdo it. Because it's not really their nature, you see. So they do have to be really good actors. They don't feel it. They don't believe it. They don't think positive things most of the time. They're negative beings. So they are like your paid movie actors but they get great satisfaction out of playing their roles. And the reward is they get the negative energy or attention or all sorts of things that tend to fuel them and keep them satisfied, shall we say. And there's more to it, of course, than that. That's just one little element. The same way that, like I was saying, if I'm a human being and I interact with another human being and that person's very pleasant to me, it makes me feel good. You know, I probably would need that less than what they need, the negative energy, because a real human being can actually survive without positive or negative for longer periods. And if they feel okay in themselves, depending on, how much the matrix has influenced them over a lifetime, can't go on. Yes. Oh, there's such a dear little dog over there. Oh, see, they get you with the animals because I think the animals sometimes are kind of cute. And you know that the animals can't hurt you, as much, although I have been brought down by most of the animals that I've had in my life, I have to admit. But they can't control technology and direct it at you or anything like that, I would imagine. So they'd still be a lot more bearable, but of course they all have owners and masters, shall we say. All dogs have their master, and that even is if you thought you were in the real world. So the master controls the animal anyway. What is going on here? I'm getting stuck here. But seeing my videos are so negative, I had better have this car's parked crooked in front of me. That's just, I will. What sort of dog is he? What sort of dog is he? Nice doggy.
Yeah, you can pet her if you want.
Hello, darling. He's a greyhound, is he?
Whippet.
Oh, whippet, yes, they're a bit smaller.
Yeah.
That's all the better, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's nice, isn't he? I like them.
Yeah.
If I was getting a dog, I think I would get one like that.
Yeah, she's lovely.
Yes. Thank you.
No worries.
How just backs in and then backs out. There's no logic to that. It's just a control system. And these two coming down here. You know, that car there, you've been pulling in the side right in front. It's very hard to show. If I was doing the manoeuvre even while they're waiting at the lights, that's so obvious. Even, you know, can't even be satisfied with their hold the drivers right up here. Have to tell them completely. Seriously having doubts. Suppose you have to force yourself rather to press on, but there's not a lot of motivation, I have to admit. In fact, my motivation right from the start with continuing on in this matrix through the past is largely another one running over there. Obviously that's oh. Well, right from the start, my only motivation to keep going when the matrix did come down was trying to keep going because I put in such huge effort so many people to stop hitting people. And that if you don't, it's not going to be that's what they want. So therefore, you'll be worse off. So it's not like you'll probably end up getting pushed by the target. So that was my motivation to keep going. But that's not a good one, because that's not positive. That is just forcing yourself to survive in anger because you know that. So I'm going to go across here. I think that's it. I think I can go. So, I shouldn't be making the videos over because I should just be keeping it going because if you're making videos while you're actually moving, it takes a lot more energy and you know. You have this bus is blinking, it's lights in the daytime. Oh dear. Oh. Look how it's blinking, it's lights in the daytime. Look at that sun. See, it is bright. I can't even see it, but look at that. But it's actually, see, I was hoping it wouldn't be quite so hot today. Look, yesterday was completely black, cloudy sky everywhere. Today, for some reason, the sun has come out, but of course I've got a jacket on because I thought it would be a bit cooler like it was yesterday. Weather just changes all the time, you know. And I think that also puts you, that's just a minor thing that if I was in a normal world, it wouldn't affect me. But it's affecting me today. Let's see if we can see if, yeah, the car lights are on with this sun up here. Look, sun up here, so bright, so clear, and yet the car lights are still on. They won't come out because the sun is sun, but I can see with my naked eye we've got these out of balance technical beings, or insane if you like, with their lights on. They won't come out because there's too much sun on them for them to even come out as lights, I don't think. I can see them with my naked eye, but there's so much glare that, see how they pull up just when you're walking along? They always pull up. Now, most people would say that's just the normal light, but actually it's not. Because I just went across those lights. It says go. So you notice how they changed instantly when I was about to look? Because there's no way that those lights should have stopped twice like that. It's a matrix. It's all controlled to suppress me. It looks all random. It looks as though, yeah, they're just pulling up because the lights have changed. But the lights are changing when they want them to change. They always have a rational reason. That way they're covered, you see. Because they don't want to get caught out. They have to make it look as though I'm just out of touch. And, you know, oh, that's good. Their doors are not open today. It's Saturday. Yeah. But, you know, I better fold up. I'm exhausted here. I can't take much more. There's no reason for me to film up here anyway, I don't think. And if something happens, if I can't film everything, I really can't. I can't film everything. I can't film everything, maybe I'm just at a low point because normally when I'm really angry and at low, I usually anger feels me to film, to show them. But it must be really low because I almost don't, perhaps it's just a combination of everything. I really don't even have the incentive to even keep filming.